Well, it seems after the BBC's quite pitiful apology, in my opinion, that Donald Trump is not backing down. And I personally don't blame him because let's face it, their edits made it look like he was inciting something which he wasn't doing at all, was he? So I can understand why he's so peed off. And now the BBC, let's just say, is going to find out exactly how peed off he is because he has decided to take the BBC to court after all, regardless of the apology that they gave him. And remember, this all started because of that Panorama episode and their very selectful editing, shall we call it that, which, if anything, I can't see how that was some sort of mistake or whatever they said it was. It's surely, if anything, some sort of lefty editing, in my opinion, to make him look bad, especially as, remember, it was a month before the US presidential election, from what I've heard. And just imagine if it went the other way. We would then have had a Kamala Harris as president, and no doubt the lefties would have cheered. The problem is, though, the BBC are saying, well, you got in anyway, so what's the problem, it seems? But that's not the point, is it? The BBC didn't know Donald Trump would win the race to be president at all, did they? So by them even putting this out in the first place, doesn't that come under some sort of interference with another country's politics? Because surely that would be, in my opinion. But if anything, I'm sure we can all pretty much agree that what they did is kind of a massive insult to Donald Trump. But just how much is he going to sue him for? Well, apparently it's going to be between a whopping $1 billion to $5 billion, which obviously all the TV license fee payers are going to have to pay, aren't they? Which, if anything, is going to push up the price even more and therefore make people think, well, hang on a bloody minute, do I really want to pay this TV license? Which presumably will lead to a load of people cancelling their TV license as a result, because let's face it, yes, the TV license needs to go, doesn't it, in a day, or modern day rather, age of streaming, eh? But Donald Trump apparently mentioned that magical figure to reporters on Friday while flying on Air Force One, saying, we'll sue them for $1 billion to $5 billion. I think we have to do it. Trump was pretty fired up about this as well, telling reporters that the BBC changed words that he actually said. He even said they admitted to cheating. He told GB News' Bev Turner that they sent him a nice letter. But calling it unintentional isn't really an apology. And he went on to call it fake news and even said it's beyond fake, calling it corrupt. Which, yes, it certainly does seem to be, doesn't it? He was shocked, saying, I just couldn't believe it. I've never seen anything like it. It's so egregious. And he feels he has to take legal action, even though he's not keen on lawsuits. But he believes if you don't stand up, nothing will change. And that, in my opinion, is a very good lesson for the BBC. This could mean that the lesson the BBC will learn is, firstly, not to edit things like bell ends, and secondly, that you can't take your TV license fee payers for granted because they will leave, and this will cause a mountain of cancellations, surely. But remember, the BBC version of his speech, for anyone who doesn't know, said, we're going to walk down to the Capitol and I'll be there with you and we fight. But what he actually said was, we're going to walk down to the Capitol and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. You see how different that sounded, completely changing the tone or his intentions of what the president actually wanted, eh? So it's no surprise on why he actually wants to sue them, because it's slanderous, if anything, in my opinion. And Trump lawyers have sent a scathing legal letter claiming that the misrepresentation has caused him massive financial and reputational damage. They said that the false statements have been spread widely online, reaching tens of millions of people. And get this, his attorney Alejandro Brito, who pronounced that right, is demanding a full retraction of the documentary and other false statements about Trump, as prominently as they were originally published. This whole drama, of course, has led to the resignation of the BBC Director General Tim Davie on Monday night, bloody good job too, in my opinion, followed by the departure of new CEO Deborah Turner. And Nigel Farage, good old Nige from Reform UK, chipped in a bit, saying that resignation should be just the beginning of a major overhaul at the BBC. He thinks that the government should appoint someone from the private sector who knows how to turn things around and understands, of course, PR. He warned that if the BBC doesn't get this right, many people will stop paying the license fee. And I personally think the sooner that happens, the better. Anyway, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments, eh?